Worn out places.
Is that a Gator commercial?
No, that's,
What was that? TV show of some sort?
yeah, that was that movie with Timothy Oliphant, The Crazies.
Crazy.
You ever see that? That's pretty fucking good.
Sounds familiar.
Oh yeah, it is familiar.
It was also used, maybe The Shield. I think they might have used it.
Oh, I don't know.
Going and doing chewing and stuff. My wife's gonna be mad.
What's that?
Chewing on mic again. She hates that.
She don't dig that.
What'd you say?
She don't dig that.
I don't know. That ought to give me a good enough.
Yeah.
Is that loud?
No. I don't know. I mean, I guess. I don't know exactly what you know about the Fibonacci sequence. What are you doing?
Just checking. We're still perfectly synced.
Perfectly synced.
Got nobody watching right now.
That's good.
Why, you gonna rip one?
No, I mean, I was going to fart, but I decided not to. I didn't know if we had any viewers. I'm going to save it for them.
Gosh dang it. I went to the wrong place.
What?
I went to YouTube instead of Facebook.
Oh, hey, hashtag Facebook.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe.
I wanna give. I wanna live. You know that song?
Did you say good golly, Miss Molly?
No, that was weird, though.
Mm-hmm.
Tell that story about earlier today. I'm not saying how long ago. Earlier today.
Okay, so earlier today, Everett came over to my house, and he was like, "Hey, man, I got something to tell you." And I'm like, "Well, what's going on, you know?"
Hold on, I don't know where this is.
I was spitballing. I was going to make some shit up, too.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, this guy says farts are always funny. Oh, he wants to hear them. Right. So I'll save it for you guys.
Well, they are.
We are all about the viewer.
Hold on, I'm getting a text message.
Will you get that text message?
It's dead. I'll be right back.
Come on, man. We're live on YouTube. Where are you going? You believe this shit? Live on YouTube. Guy leaves. I don't know what's going on here. I'll just do the show by myself. I can do this. All right. Here I am. No, I really can't do the show by myself. He'd be pissed. I probably could do the show by myself, but I don't think I'm gonna. Got a lot of stuff to talk about.
All right. Just about ready.
I feel like I've been touched by an angel.
Really?
Yeah.
Inappropriately or otherwise?
I mean, is there any other way to be touched?
I don't know. You're touched in a certain way.
Touched, huh?
Yeah.
Walk like a man.
Oh, I need to update our metadata for this.
Yeah, dude. Update the metadata.
Part 2.
Oh, yeah, part 2.
Uh-huh.
You should put in the description. This is the episode where Eric's going to fart real loud.
Oh, my God.
Hey, man, Brian likes farts.
Yeah, thank you, Brian. Thanks for encouraging him.
You ever threw your back out farting before?
Oh, my God. No.
I did, dude, yeah, wow, it was bad.
Oh, my God.
I felt the pressure and the warmth, so you knew it was going to be a good one. I let her rip, and I guess I was at the wrong angle. My body was at the wrong angle, and whenever she just took off, I was like, ah. I about dropped to the ground. It took me a good 20 minutes to regain my composure. Had to go home from work and shit. I mean, how do you explain that to your boss? Like, I mean, I farted. What's wrong with you? My back hurts. What happened? Shit myself. Wait, what?
I'm not even paying attention to you.
I wouldn't either.
There's something wrong with you, I think.
A lot. I can't wait till we do our commercial. Oh wait, did I just blow something out of the water? Oh man.
I don't know why you're like. It's like that's as bad as name dropping what you're doing right there.
I know. What about the?
Come on.
Oh man, I mean, I can
In
just
due time, my dear.
I can just tell them, just keep your eyes out for some new additions, some maybe a small change here and there. Things could happen.
Why don't you just say we got some cool stuff?
Yeah, we got some pretty breakthrough shit coming through. We've got some pretty breakthrough shit on the horizon here. That's Surreal Talk. And I'll let you know all in good time what's going to happen.
All right, you about ready?
I'm ready. I've been ready. I was born ready.
Roll.
I thought I sent that to you astrally.
Astrally?
Astrally.
Does that mean rectally? Astrally?
Not at all.
Like
No, I was astrally projecting. It's terrible. I can't think of it the same now. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Hold on. I forgot I was doing something. Hold on.
You sharing the link?
Yeah, I'm doing what I got to do.
Son of a bitch. Come on. I could sing a song, fill some time.
Do what you think you must.
I don't think they're ready for that yet, but their kids are going to love it.
You're a dork.
I don't think anybody caught that reference.
Well, no, it's actually not made.
We only got 4 people,
you know
so
like
there's
30
probably not a good chance that anybody caught the reference.
You know, we're like 30 seconds behind, too, so by the time you said that, still nobody had even heard it.
Oh, yeah, good point. They're probably just
You're
now
not
getting
thinking
it.
fourth dimensionally.
You're still not thinking fourth dimensionally. Come on, roll it. Huh. Sounded bad.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll just wear this then until the start of the show.
Oh, Lord. All right.
That's what you asked for. It's crooked as shit. Let me get. Oh, fuck. Wrong way. Forget. It's backwards.
You
camera.
done?
Yeah, go ahead.
You done there, El Conquistador?
Let's see what you got.
This podcast is brought to you by lineupmedia.fm.
Mm-hmm.
You hear that?
I do.
Wonder what that is. He used to say
You're listening
that
to
was a UFO
Surreal
beeping
Talk,
back. I
a
like
look
that.
inside the world
Wow.
of cults, conspiracies,
It'd be all right.
and the paranormal. Brought to you by lineupmedia.fm.
The whole truth about JFK, 9/11.
I mean,
Area
not the whole truth,
51,
but-
the Illuminati.
We've been over this.
Jesus and Magdalene. The
That's
CIA,
why it's gotta go.
KGB and AIDS.
Subtle
The
hints.
reptilian elite, Watergate, the New World Order, Bilderberg, the MK
Watergate?
Ultra Project, the
That's a
history of
thought.
the world and the oppression of the human consciousness.
We can do a whole Hillary
God,
corruption
the devil,
episode. She was fired from Watergate.
Hell, and the delicate fabric of the universe.
You gotta say, I am as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
Now your hosts, Eric and Everett.
And we're clear.
Welcome to Surreal Talk, a look inside the world of cults, conspiracies, and the paranormal. This is a lineupmedia.fm production, as it is every week, and we are back. How you doing, Everett?
I'm great. I just want to comment on how much you love that to do the radio guy shtick.
It's great. I do.
You're like, and they're coming around third base. You just want to do that professional radio guy, don't
Yeah, I do.
you? So bad.
Just a bit outside.
And it's bottom of the ninth.
Yeah, we're talking about the metaphysical mind here, people.
Here it is, 3 p.m. We're talking to Metaphysical Mind with brothers Everett and Eric.
Yeah.
I'm trying to sound serious, but
Please join us.
I'm coming off like an asshole, I feel like.
Yeah, you are.
Anyway, so
It's very true.
welcome back. Second half of the show this week.
Second
Talking-
half.
Yeah, not the first half. It's actually the second half.
Oh yeah, second time we're doing this today.
2 comes after 1.
I mean, in your mind.
Yeah, maybe in my universe.
I don't know how your mind
I've
works.
been Mandela'd over to think 2 comes before
Yeah.
or after 1.
Yeah, you did get Mandela'd.
No, anyway, Metaphysical Mind we're talking still. Mind powers and the crazy things that the brain may or may not be capable of.
Ooh, I wouldn't say may be capable. I think because we don't really know what it could
That's
be
why I
capable
add in
of.
the may not.
I mean, I don't know.
I think it's fair.
No,
You don't have to correct me.
no, I'm not. I didn't correct you. All I said was I think that's crazy. We don't really know what it could be capable of.
Let's talk about willpower. real
Han.
quick. We Han. Anyway, willpower. We talked about this kind of in our consciousness episode. I almost felt like Porky Pig there. Consciousness.
Consciousness.
Anyway, willpower. So, what I thought was interesting is how people like certain like Buddhist monks can use their mind and their willpower alone to raise their body temperature. It's just a deeper understanding of how to control the tool of which is your body. You know what I mean? If your brain truly is your consciousness, then you got to think of your body like it's a tool, like it's a wrench.
Well, like what it is it's controlling your involuntary reflexes, like
Exactly right.
slowing your own heartbeat.
your core temperature,
your breathing,
right? Exactly what you said. The involuntary becomes voluntary.
Exactly. The involuntary reflexes.
Sneezing with your eyes open. Okay.
Now you're just getting crazy now. That's not possible.
Okay.
I don't care what dimension you're from. Nobody sneezes with their eyes open.
What about the Greys who don't have eyes,
They don't have a nose.
eyelids? You sneeze out your mouth.
Debatable.
You sneeze out your.
You sniff pepper, you sneeze. They don't have a nose. Can't sniff pepper, no sneezes.
They got little slit noses.
You ever seen one?
Technically, no.
Okay. I have.
I can see.
I've seen a few.
In real life?
Yeah, I went to Orion.
You liar.
Yeah, of course not.
Why are you saying that?
Zeta Reticuli? Been there.
Have you?
Yeah. Met
Anyway,
the Zetas, the
willpower.
Betas.
Can we back to willpower?
Yeah,
here?
willpower,
This
yeah.
isn't the aliens episode, you savage. Even though they do probably have mind powers.
Oh, I bet they do.
Just out of
Independence Day.
sheer length of evolution.
Independence Day.
That's true.
Because the crazy doctors we feel like they communicate through some extra sensory perception, telepathy maybe. The word you couldn't pronounce.
Have you seen the second one?
No.
It's supposed to be pretty good.
Really?
I saw it back in the day, but I don't really remember it too well.
Oh, I love the first one.
The first one's a classic.
Do not shoot that green shit at me.
Here's a little bit of trivia. Me and April's first date, April and I, my wife, we watched that movie. That's what we did.
Really?
Movie and Chill, 1999.
VHS?
Probably.
VHS.
Probably
and
VHS.
chill. Yeah,
I
I'm
couldn't
sure.
tell you. Reel to reel. It was beta. Laserdisc.
So
Whatever
meta.
we used to do back in 1999, we did.
Yeah, like get on Yahoo Chat.
Yahoo Chat, yeah.
AOL.
You got mail.
ICQ.
I know a guy that still uses AOL mail. I'm not even shitting.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Anyway,
willpower.
willpower. Yeah.
What about the
So I
martial
can't slow
artist?
my heart down.
I bet you could. You can calm yourself. That's
It's
kind of
fucking
the same
hard
thing.
though, man. When you get pissed, it's hard to calm down.
Yeah, but you can if you could practice how that what is it, meditation or whatever.
Oh, like in the movie The
breathing
Hulk?
techniques. Exactly, the type of stuff he does to calm himself down.
So he doesn't Hulk out.
That's kind of a mind power. It's mind over matter.
You know
what
who
I mean?
teaches him that?
Monk.
I would think that's a monk. I would think. I mean,
I don't recall. I don't remember the movie. It was Edward Norton's Hulk, right?
yeah, exactly, that Edward Norton Hulk movie. But I think that's a monk. I could be wrong. I really could, but I think it's a monk. But yeah, isn't that gnarly how they can just go out in the freezing cold and just be okay all night?
It just goes to show you that. I think
Mind over matter is what it is.
It's like they're starting to understand how to use the brain.
Mm-hmm.
They don't fully. I don't think they fully comprehend what they're doing. It's like using a tool, like using a screwdriver as a hammer. You're starting to get there. You're supposed to be doing something with it,
Right.
but you're just not there. You don't have the full understanding. You don't know how to use it as a real power.
Well,
You're just like, I'm going to raise my body temperature. That's not an applicable power, so to speak.
Well, I mean, unless you're really cold.
I guess so. They do live in Tibet.
But I've always heard that they're the most enlightened people on earth. And to me that would mean they have the most use of their brain, they have the most knowledge, they are the enlightened ones.
You don't have to have the most knowledge to be enlightened. You just
No,
have to,
but wouldn't it help to have the knowledge of how to, lower your body temperature, raise your body temperature?
to be enlightened, I don't think that has anything to do with it.
Have you ever
Isn't
been enlightened?
enlightenment just an understanding of, and peace? An understanding of peace with existence?
Have you ever been enlightened?
I'd love to be. I think I kind of am. I feel like I'm at peace.
No.
And I
Hell
think I
no.
understand. You don't think so? You think
No,
I'm too angry?
gosh, no, you're not at peace. There's
Me more
if
than
anybody out there listening thinks for one iota of a second that Pigpen or Everett is at peace, why don't you go ahead and let me know now? Email us about that because that's just not true. I'll put you in your place on that one. He's not at peace. He's a
what do you
very
mean?
hostile man.
I am not. I'll kick your ass.
See?
Oh.
Debatable.
All right. Anyway, what else are we talking about in the car? People who are in comas, who are supposedly not even brain dead, but brain inactive, if you will. They're unconscious.
Yeah, this was interesting. This was gnarly. We had a good talk.
There's talk of people who perceive what's going on around them. They can hear people talking.
I just read an article. A guy that woke up after 12 years of being in a coma.
Lay it on me. What was it about?
The dude was pissed. He was pissed, but he was so happy at the time because he woke up. He told them that he could literally hear everything. For a while, his eyes were open. He could see stuff too, but eventually they just closed his eyes because he was in a coma. And then so
You know what that reminds me of? That Metallica song 1, where the guy's like, landmine is taking my sight, taking my speech, taking my hearing, Except he didn't really. He knew he was alive.
I cannot live. I cannot die.
Exactly right.
Absolute horror. That's exactly what he said. It was absolute horror. That's probably what he means in there. That's a crazy coma story, huh? But anyway, so the guy said it was just pure hell. 12 years.
I can't even imagine.
You know, I couldn't even imagine. No,
Imagine if you had an itch and you couldn't convey, like, oh my God, my nose.
No, dude. 12 years of your ass itching. That's hell.
I
That's
live that.
and that's what he said. He was like, I just wish I could have killed. At one point, I wanted to kill myself, but I couldn't. I can't move. You know, he was so mad. But then when he woke up and was able to function,
the frustration.
He was crying from sheer joy. Oh, the frustration would be out of this world. No, yeah, I'd be sweating from frustration. That would be how you'd know I'd be pissed off. I'd be laying there in a coma, just fucking sweating.
I poop myself all the time. Of course, you don't
all
have
the time.
I poop more.
Then the nurses would beat you up.
They probably
This
would.
asshole. Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, I guess let's go ahead and pop over to the pop culture side.
Wait, we had one more thing we wanted to talk about.
What was it?
How you could develop telepathy or even some sort of extra sensory or even just more mind powers from someone that you didn't think. Okay, so we were talking like, I asked Everett, I said, do you think you have to be smart? Do you think you need to be a smart person to develop those sort of powers? Or even for that to hit you, or is it something that happens at birth? But if it's not something that happens at birth, then it's something that you can
be taught,
develop.
Right.
What kind of person would it take to develop those sorts of powers? And we got to talking about, okay, do you need to be smart? And
Hold
I'm
on,
like,
take that hat off before you start talking about this.
no, you can't take me seriously. Okay, so I got to thinking, like, do you need to be smart? And I'm thinking, well, you know, there's plenty people out there that are smarter than me. And then we got to thinking, and no offense to anyone out here, but we're talking about autistic people. Some autistic people they're considered savants.
Like
If you ever seen Rain Man, that's exactly my point. Okay, so if you allowed an autistic person, and I can't say allowed. Okay, so that's wrong. Let me back that up a bit.
Be careful.
Right, I'm trying to tread lightly here. So if two autistic people bred and had an autistic kid, God damn it!
You know who you sound like? You sound like Mac from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Whenever they had the same argument that he could breed a race of super people by selective breeding, basically creating the X-Men.
Okay, well, what I'm saying is like, you know how they're very much smarter, and that they can use parts of their brain that we can't. Is what I'm getting at. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? So they can use different parts of the brain that we can't.
No, Walter, you're not wrong. Keep going.
Right. But
you're not wrong.
What I'm getting at is if after a few generations of this sort of selective breeding,
autistic people, you're lucky if you haven't created a vegetable. Is that what you're saying? Maybe somehow they've got mind powers.
Well, right, because
you know what we're going to end up with is Stryker's kid from the second X-Men movie, sitting around in his wheelchair, making other people's minds do stuff. He can't do anything because he's all,
But he can do. But that's what I'm saying. So I mean, how do you develop? Would that be possible? That'd be crazy. That's just something weird to think about.
Here? This is eugenics, more or less.
Oh, explain. Do tell.
Here, let me give you the definition. Eugenics was a big Nazi thing, too. It's selective breeding in humans. Okay, here's what Google says. It is a social philosophy advocating the improvement of human genetic traits through the promotion of higher rates of sexual reproduction for people with desired traits, positive eugenics, or reduced rates of sexual reproduction and sterilization of people with less than desired or undesired traits, negative eugenics. So the Nazis were like sterilized gypsies, people, were mentally handicapped.
Breed the blonde hair, blue eyes.
Exactly.
Okay. But isn't that already going like? Isn't there voluntary eugenics right now?
How do you figure? You think people are getting together? You're smart and I'm smart. Let's make a baby.
What? No, follow me here. You go to a sperm bank. You get to read their profile, where they went to college. If they're smart, if they're physically, what their attributes are, how tall they are, how much they weigh.
So says the movies we've seen.
I guess you're right. I've never been to a sperm donor to try to get a baby.
Have you ever been to a sperm donor to leave sperm?
Never.
So you've never been to a sperm donor?
I'm not against it, but I've just never done it.
For money or for just something to do, or?
I mean, what are you gonna do? I'm doing it for free anyway.
You ever see Road Trip?
Oh yeah.
See Road Trip and look for the sperm donation scene.
That was very good. Very good.
Funny.
You're talking about
epigenetics,
and it's a very real thing. Yes. Epigenetics.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jay.
And Brian says that Rain Man was based on a real person. That's interesting. Maybe we can get a couple of him together. And
he was based on me.
Go with Eric.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, I know that.
That's just very insensitive.
Rain Man was great. Do you remember the scene where that waitress dropped those toothpicks and it was a box of like 200 or 350?
358, Charlie Babbitt.
Yeah, no, 342. 342. Wow, there's 8 left in here. How did he do that?
Yeah, whatever it was. Yeah.
How much does a candy bar cost? About $100. How much does a new car cost? About $100.
So what you're saying is
But when asked the square root of like 4,700,000.
No, I get what you're saying though. You're saying that whenever a brain gets rewired to have like these abilities or something like that, there's a good possible chance that the parts that normally work right for your social skills and whatnot are affected because they've rewired that part of the brain off to where now you're wired for math or
Hell,
whatever.
exactly. It could be just a part of evolution that's
pretty
not
much what you're
working
getting at.
right yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? It could be a part of evolution that hasn't worked itself out properly yet.
Right.
You know,
You're
trying to
halfway
open
through
up
that
those
series of mutations.
Exactly. It's trying to open up that spot of the brain, but in return, right now, it's shutting down another part of the brain because the evolution hasn't.
Or the fact that you
I mean, I'm
have,
spitballing here,
you
but
can't have both of them turned on at the same time without
That could
this
be-
third one that monitors and
right, or some
meters it.
extra gene in there, or a protein, or an enzyme, or something. You know what I mean? We just don't know exactly what's at play. I mean, other than the whole vaccines cause autism, what causes autism?
Well, they only say that because there's supposedly mercury in some.
Did you hear what I told you the other day? I called the pharmacy. The pharmacist admitted that there's mercury in the Fluvarin shot, and there's even more in the multi-pack. So that's not a supposedly. You can look that up. That's true.
So
mercury in the flu shot, people, watch out.
You're doing the legwork, calling the pharmacy.
I
though.
did. I called the
Don't
pharmacy.
Name a pharmacy though.
No, but I called the pharmacy. I asked the lady, I said, hey, what's going on? She's like, nothing. I said, well, I got a couple questions about Fluvarin. And she's like, oh, okay, what's going on? I said, is there mercury in that? And she's like, what do you mean? Is there mercury in the flu shot? Oh, well, I don't really know. Like, well, I got a list here of all the stuff, and it says that there's trace amounts of mercury. And she's like, oh, yeah, I guess it does say that. And then I was like, well, isn't that bad for you? Because I know that mercury is, like, scheduled as a neurotoxin and whatnot also. And I believe it's carcinogenic, too. They don't want you playing
She
with
hung
that
up
shit.
on you, didn't she?
No. And I said, isn't that bad for you?
I might have hung
How
up
can
on
you
you.
how can you do that? And she's like, it's risk reward. And I was kind of like, are you shitting me? And I said, okay, so is it carcinogenic? She said, there's never been any studies showing that the flu shot gives you cancer. I said, but there's never been any studies showing that it doesn't, right? Right. I'm just saying, man.
Case open, not
Yeah,
case closed. for
not
sure.
case closed, case open. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. And some of the side effects for that, have you ever seen the video of the girl that can't walk or talk normal unless she's walking backwards?
I'm not giving any credence
That's
to the
all from the
anti-vax
flu
movement
shot.
because I think even if there's a chance,
You did an anti-vax show. What are you talking about?
and if you listen to it, you hear that I say that the risk versus reward is way better on the side of keep yourself from getting fucking
They
sick.
got to him, people. They got
You know
to
I
him. They
like
got
the
to him.
Kool-Aid.
They got to him. That's what happens. That's exactly what the pharmacist said.
Shut
Risk
up.
reward. What the fuck did you just say? Risk reward.
You know what? You claim to be a critical
That's
thinker.
probably a
That's
government
what I
thing
claim to be,
right there,
too.
I guess.
But you talk over me.
Yeah, that was
All right, let's move on.
psyop.
Let's get to the let's get to the pop culture here. I hate you.
I hate you. Oh, here's a fun fact. I used to shop at the Kmart down, and they drove past where he was talking about watching people's. Wait, what?
What?
Huh.
Well, thanks, Jay. Well, there's an interesting comment on
People's Court was a fun show, though.
It was.
Who's the judge of that?
Wapner, wasn't it?
Wapner.
Wapner's on at 3.
Wapner's on it. Another Rain Man.
Boom,
Like,
boom.
oh, that's what it's about. Because it's in Cincinnati,
Oh,
Cincinnati,
Kmart.
Ohio.
And they got his Kmart.
That's exactly right.
Okay, sorry, Jay.
We get it now. We get it
You're
now.
slow. All right, Green Mile is the first one I wanted to talk about. You
Oh,
remember
I'm
John
tired,
Coffey?
boss.
Yeah, John
Mostly
Coffey.
tired of people being ugly to each other.
Now, he had, would you call it mind power, so to speak? Because he was able to bring shit back to life.
Well, he pulled the testicular cancer out of Tom Hanks. I don't know. That's more than mind power.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? He was just like,
let's skip that one. Doesn't really count.
no, I mean, it does. It was just more than that.
Fair enough.
But am I wrong? Right? That was testicular cancer, right? He had problems with his wife. Pulled it right out of his sutnack.
No, you're exactly right. That's how it happened.
Okay, that's what I thought. So I'm
All
not
right.
wrong.
All right, let's go crazy and think about the mutant side of the argument. here.
Oh, okay. So we're getting into the dreaded X-Men talk, which I knew we were going to get to. But
you knew
think
that.
about it. Most powerful.
Well, obviously, I mean Jean Grey.
Jean Grey. Telekinesis, telepathic, can control your mind, can enter your mind, can manipulate your mind, can manipulate matter, can manipulate. She can
explode you.
Yeah. What was it? Who was it? What's her name? Jessica Alba, that played the Invisible Girl in Fantastic Four.
Invisible Woman.
Invisible Woman, whatever. So she told Dr. Doom, she's like, I can create a force field inside you and expand it until you blow up, right? I just thought that was cool. I always remembered that because I was like, whoa, that'd be fucking gnarly to see.
I mean, that's kind of like, think about telekinesis, about what it is. So, say you can move this object. You can, like, when I'm holding up my phone here. Say with your mind you could pick it up and move it.
No.
Pick it up and move it. What are you doing there? Are you manipulating the air around it? Are you manipulating the molecules of the phone itself?
The matter. I mean, really, I don't know.
So,
Do you have energy that's making it do that, or is that what's going on?
through physics, you got to be able to say what is being manipulated here.
Well, that's now you're assuming that physics, as we know it, can explain that.
Otherwise, it's magic because we live in a world where.
But wait, any new technology is always perceived by magic until
it's in your brain. It's genetics and.
Okay, but anything new
biology.
like that is perceived as magic until we can explain it. Any new science is perceived as magic, and that's essentially what it would be if we could figure out telepathy. It scientifically, how it worked is what you're actually asking right here.
Telepathy, telekinesis.
Telekinesis, but that's what you're asking right here is how it works, what is being manipulated there,
Well,
and until any new science
I realize that, but let's spitball. Let's speculate.
I mean, I would think it'd be controlling the matter in the phone. I don't think it's an air thing or a molecule thing, which, I mean, a molecule thing's probably not far off, but I just think you're controlling the matter in the phone, that chunk of matter.
You don't think, okay, so...
Because I think it's too precise to try to control the molecules in it. Well, of course, I don't know.
Well, you got to think about it like this. Just because you have control over the molecules, how do you impart force? You got to transfer energy somehow. You can't just say there's no kinetic energy. Something sitting on a table doesn't even have potential energy. It's just sitting there.
Right.
So somehow you have to
give it energy.
Now that's what I want.
That's what you're talking about, physics, and that's what I'm saying. Assuming physics can explain things like that, physics as we know it today.
Well, if it's magic, that means you're breaking the physics that you cannot create matter. Because matter equals energy. So
right,
if you're creating energy out of nowhere, you can't just create energy.
Right, but you know as well as I do that physics is an
it's
ever-expanding...
It's incomplete, right?
We don't know how exactly everything works in physics, right?
I know, but devil's advocate with me, you know what I'm saying?
Right, no, I hear you. Magic, man. It's got to be magic.
It's always magic. So, yeah, the Invisible Woman, I guess, is another one, though, that does have the kind of mind power. Cable, which was the son of Scott and Jean, along with Nate Gray, which is another.
Oh, look, no, he's explaining right now what you're talking about. Well, if you're using the pineal gland to create an electrical frequency that matches the atomic density of the item you're looking at, then vibrating the BB out of order.
What's the BB?
Whatever. If you're trying to pick up a BB, think about that. But you know what I'm saying? Like you're using the vibrational frequency of your brain by the pineal, and that makes perfect fucking sense, honestly.
Well, there's still a lot in the middle that I don't get what's going on there. What do you like?
I mean, that's the end game, though. I mean, you just asked how would you be able to manipulate the matter, and that's a great example. One of our YouTube viewers just said that. Well, I just read it out to you, but when you're using the pineal gland to create an electrical frequency, because we all know that was a big thing on our pineal show, that the frequencies to disrupt the calcification of it. You had to listen to those frequencies. It's all about frequency. Your whole body operates on frequencies. We know that.
Okay, now that we've got this kind of established, that there's some sort of thing like that going on. Could you argue that powers like Storm's powers of weather manipulation are almost a type of telekinesis? Because she's manipulating the matter, moving it around, doing what she's got to do to create storm clouds and lightning and whatnot.
Right.
So it's almost the same thing. It's just a different way to point that power.
Yeah.
This is how she's learned what she can do.
So, but here, okay, so I get what you're saying, but would you call her ability to manipulate lightning the same as Thor's?
Thor's is magical. That's comics.
How do we know that Thor isn't manipulating it with the same way she is? You know what I mean? And like I said, that's exactly that quote I used is from the Thor movie. Any new magic is perceived, and any new science is perceived as...
That's an old quote. I mean, it's not.
But it was used in there.
Okay, fair enough.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good point. But I guess I'm just trying too hard to make mutant powers have physics attached to them. But
you don't do it.
But whenever they say that it's a result of genetics, it makes you think that it exists in a world that has physics and rules like that. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, okay, because it's the X gene.
So if they're starting with science, why can't I use science to describe how they work?
Good point. Touche.
I don't think I'm too far out.
No, right. I get you. Yeah, because it's the X gene that gives them the abilities, right?
Well, so whatever the X gene is.
Well, let's talk about Professor X.
The most powerful telepath on Earth.
Yes, he is a good telepath.
He's all right.
Emma, what was her name? Emma Stone.
Frost.
She was a good Emma Frost.
Emma
that's
Stone
right.
is an actress. She was in Superbad.
That's right.
And those new Spider-Man.
Oh, she's in those, huh?
She was in the ones with that.
I like her.
She's all right.
But yeah, so Emma Frost, she's a telepath as well, and that's Xavier could do some pretty gnarly shit when it comes to he can freeze
tool?
people.
No,
just
think about
freeze
his
the whole.
tool, Cerebro.
All that does is enhances
amplifier.
power. Yes, it's an amplifier.
So I guess for how that would work, I guess they figured out what the fields are for brain waves.
What his
perfect room. Well, not even just his, because other people have used Cerebro, other telepaths in the comics. And
oh, okay.
Jean Grey's used.
Jean Grey can use Cerebro.
Right.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you don't remember like the X-Men cartoon, Jean Grey would use it?
No, I don't.
Well, trust me, it happened.
I remember Mystique beating the shit out of it in part 2, or in part of the new ones, part 2.
Mystique is not a good guy. I just want people to realize that. And they're making her out to be an anti-hero. She was never in the X-Men.
No.
This is just nuts.
But he can freeze people, like freeze time almost. He's not freezing time, but he can freeze. You know, like you see. Remember the one movie where he bent down,
Yeah, that's weird. I guess is he shutting people's brains off?
I don't know what he's doing, but he can
can't
totally.
Stop time.
He can totally freeze. No.
He can't if they say that guy dropped an apple and then they froze their brains. That apple should still drop.
Should still drop exactly. Now the only reason
time.
that apple wouldn't drop is if you were on Quicksilver time.
Well,
Quicksilver. Hey, that's like my favorite X-Man. Quicksilver.
Really?
Yeah, dude. You know
was
what?
he your favorite Avenger too? Because the same character was in the event.
No, that incarnation of Quicksilver sucked.
He got killed.
Yeah, he was. No, this one's really cool though, man.
I disagree.
Okay, so let me explain why though. Okay, because he's got 2 speeds. He's got to have 2 speeds because there's one speed where all of time's slow and he's normal, eating a Twinkie, looking at a business card, doing it, moving the bullets out of the way, while everything else is slowed down. Now he's got the other speed where he's hauling ass, and you can see clearly see in his face the stress, the moving of that he's hauling ass.
He ain't shit compared to the Flash.
But,
the Flash can time
travel. Are you kidding me?
The Flash can fucking time travel.
What do you think Quicksilver can do?
Can Quicksilver go back to 1950?
No.
Flash can. Flash can go between existences.
Flash is a pussy compared to Quicksilver.
Flash is stronger than Superman. Basically, Flash is one of the strongest entities out there.
I don't believe it. I don't think Flash.
You can't touch. He's faster than Superman.
He's not faster than Quicksilver. Quicksilver, dude. Did you see
All right, hold on. I'm gonna Google this.
You got
shit,
you have to put this one to rest. I feel like Quicksilver's way faster than Flash.
Oh, it's as easy. Quicksilver, Flash. Quicksilver is a mutant in the Marvel Universe. Is capable of running faster than sound. Mach 4 or 5 is his top speed.
BS. Watch a good video on that.
The Flash is entirely human. Got his powers due to a laboratory accident. He runs at speeds faster than light.
No.
Yes. Well.
Faster than light.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He can.
Okay, if he can run faster than light, he's definitely faster. But for
that's
real,
how he can go between realities. Do you ever see the Justice League Flashpoint paradox?
Gosh, no, I didn't know all that about Flash. That kind of pisses me off. I don't like him now.
Flash is badass. Dude.
No.
Just because he shits on Quicksilver.
Fuck him. Yeah,
Quicksilver's
I like Quicksilver.
a bitch.
Quicksilver's cool,
and
man.
You know what?
And he listens
you know
to
what?
Sweet Dreams.
If you like Quicksilver, you're a bitch.
What'd you just say?
You heard me. Sit down.
All right.
All right, it's on.
But yeah, so if you guys like Quicksilver as much as I do, let us know.
Why are we talking about Quicksilver? He doesn't have mind powers. I guess his mind power is being able to perceive, move that fast.
His perception of time is different than anyone else's.
He's able to perceive it at a much quicker rate.
Exactly. So
process it.
Yeah, he can process
I wonder if he ages whenever he's doing that faster. Think about that. If he's moving that fast, shouldn't his body, since time is just a...
He should age faster, shouldn't he?
You'd think that. You would really fucking think that.
But you got to think, so in those scenes where everyone else is frozen and they're not frozen, but they're perceiving a millisecond, while to him it's 2-3 minutes. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's a millisecond to them. So the thought process that's going on in their mind is they can't even complete a fraction of a thought in the time that he has cleaned up the entire scene. Moved the bullets, smashed people out of the way, saved everyone from the burning
comical
building.
Little things be set up.
Yeah. I mean, because that's the type of character he is. He's got a little humor to him.
That version of him.
But I like Quicksilver. What about who else got mind powers? What about the chick that can? What was her name?
Kitty Pryde.
Kitty Pryde. That's the one. Bobby's girlfriend.
She was sent people through time.
Yes, she did
in that movie anyway.
Yeah, that's what I never understood, because in all the other original X movies, the same character, which was what's her name, Juno. I don't remember her real name. Ellen Page. Ellen Page. Yeah. The same character only had the ability to move through matter. You know what I mean? She could
walk through the wall.
Yeah, stuff like that. And now when we see her in this new movie, she
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Yeah, and then she just drags him down into the wall.
And that was the worst Juggernaut ever.
Yeah.
Come on. They
that
really...
was the one guy.
Kane Marco was his name in the comics. He was Professor Xavier's stepbrother. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and his powers were not mutant; they were magic.
What?
You didn't know that? He was naturally a real big guy. He was a real jerk to Charles when they were growing up. He picked on him. Anyway, sometime I think in his 20s, he was hiking in Italy or something, and got caught in a cave in a mountain or whatever. And he walks into this cave and he finds this jewel, and he gets it in his hand, and he has this urge to say this set of words, kind of like how Shazam works or whatever.
Right.
But he says these words, and boom, now he's got the power of the Juggernaut, where nothing can stop him once he gets moving, and it's magical, and that's why sometimes you can't stop him.
If he builds any momentum,
Right.
no force can stop him.
Right, and it's magic. It's not mutant.
Really?
So
That's interesting.
Yep. But his gravity is still relative. Man, I wish our chat was right up to date with where we are.
I know. I wish it was too, man, because that would be great to. It's almost like we go back when we do that.
Yeah.
But, what are some other great mutants?
Movies? Well, let me think about some other movies, and I'm sure we'll get back around to them.
Right.
Powder. Do you remember Powder?
Oh gosh, yeah, I remember Powder. Powder was a great movie.
He made all kinds of weird shit happen. Like there was actually just like consequences of him being around. He like had a really weird electromagnetic field.
Yeah. He was on a higher plane almost. I feel like he was an albino.
He ascended. What about the Matrix? Now I know that's kind of weird because there's no real mind powers, but think about the way they were able to enter the mind and like program the mind with their
okay,
computer
yeah.
programs.
So like they could upload entire programs of like now jujitsu just by
that
what I mean.
apparently is a society that has figured out the mechanics of the brain. So I wonder if they figured out how to write basic brain patterns or memory patterns and put them into the brain in some sort of structured order.
Right.
Why couldn't they take it further and create communication devices like that? Well, if you think about it, though, the Matrix itself is like an extrasensory communication device because you're doing brain-to-brain communication.
Yes, you are.
So
yeah, between a bunch of people.
But it's wired. It's not wireless.
What do you mean? It's hardwired. It is hardwired. You're
Except
right.
for Neo, though, he had the ability to
He was the anomaly to go in between. He was the Wi-Fi.
extrasensory.
Yeah, he was the Wi-Fi.
There's your brain power for the Matrix. His ability was to go wireless.
What about Phenomenon with John Travolta?
Oh, that was great.
He got struck by lightning
George
outside the
something or
bar.
other.
George,
It wasn't lightning. It was some sort of like weird light. It wasn't lightning. It was like a light that hit him in the chest, remember? But
oh,
it
yeah, and
turned
he
out
passed out. That's right.
But it turned out it had something to do with cancer, and he like hallucinated it apparently.
They said that the reason at the
know.
end, they said the reason he was able to control that matter was because the tentacles in his brain were opening up.
From the cancer, the tendrils from the
yeah,
cancer.
were opening up different areas of his brain. But he explained it as a symbiotic relationship between
himself
and the matter, and it's just he wasn't willing it or making it. There you go. That's why he explained it. He asked to do this.
That's to me that's a lot like midichlorians. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is a lot like the Force.
Midichlorians,
Yeah. You're not forcing them. You have a symbiotic relationship.
Isn't
You
that
both
weird?
benefit.
Well, I guess the Force only describes it because it is a force, but it's not like they're forcing the midichlorians to do shit.
No,
I guess
no.
they are. I mean, they're like, do this shit, and move their own.
Yeah, but they're like,
The
I'm gonna
Sith
do
are
this
kinda
for
forcing
you.
it, whether
I'm gonna
they
do
like it
this
or
for you
not.
because I like you. That's what the midichlorians are thinking.
You think the Sith would torture a midichlorian because they're evil? Like, I've got you, you little midichlorian.
I don't think so. There's too many of them. There's too many midichlorians in the body to, you start torturing one, them guys are gonna get pissed. And blow you up from the inside.
Scanners. Now, there's a weird movie.
I never saw that. Where the dude's head explodes.
Yeah,
Never
here's a
saw
story. Did you know that? And you probably don't know this. Mom was at the movie theater watching Scanners, and she went into labor with me during Scanners.
Oh, that fucking
And
explains a lot.
I had to leave during the middle of the movie to go have me.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
it could have been the head popping scene that sent her into labor that caused me.
Yeah. One head pops, the other head pops.
It's like a head for a head.
Yeah.
We talked about Firestarter. That was a. Okay, yeah. What happened there was a couple participated in a medical experiment to gain telekinetic ability, and then they had a child who ended up with pyrokinesis.
That's cool.
Yeah. Lawnmower Man, which is like the original Matrix type of input memory into your or input. Well, that wasn't even really that because the guy was improving Job's brain in that movie. Do you remember Lawnmower Man that well?
Man, a
Job
little
was,
bit.
Job was
the
slow.
Yeah.
He was the lawnmower. He did, he mowed.
He was the lawnmower guy.
He mowed. But
He was your
there was a
yard care
scientist in the
specialist.
neighborhood who was working with virtual reality and experimenting with how the brain works. And he was able to improve this guy's brain, kind of like Flowers for Algernon. You remember reading this?
I do.
So it's similar to that. They made the guy who was slower now actually way smart. But it went bad in that movie. He got to be really arrogant and didn't want to lose his his newfound abilities, and he transferred himself into the cyber world. So in that movie,
Where's the little kid come in?
he was a friend of Joe before
Okay.
he
Like, what's? I can't remember the whole deal with the kid.
But he figured out apparently how to digitize this complete signature of who he was. You know what I mean? And move it into the cyber
Oh,
world.
he transcended into digital.
Which I
he
think
took
is-
his physical self into a digital
Which I think is how we're going to eventually be able to achieve
immortality.
Our first level of immortality. Before we can achieve biological, we'll have to figure out a way to basically copy ourselves and make it electronic.
Well, you've got to figure out a way to put your consciousness.
We got to figure out what the consciousness is, and then figure out how to.
It's such
we got
a
to build
weird
a computer
deal.
that basically is the brain, so that you can copy from the software to software. or copy the save game, more or less. Have the same software running
yeah.
on 2 computers to read that save game. Your brain is basically the save game.
Oh, that's crazy.
One way to put it.
Yeah, that's weird. That's gnarly.
Yeah. Phenomenon, you brought that.
Phenomenon was a good movie, man.
Sidekick, that's not the one I'm thinking of.
Isn't that with Chuck Norris?
Yeah, wrong movie. I'm going through an IMDb list here in case you guys are wondering.
I mean, like he taught that kid how to be karate. We had asthma.
Ooh, Zapped. Did you ever see that with Scott Baio and Zapped again?
I don't think so.
He drank this like prune juice from this weird bottle inside the school, and he gained telekinesis and used it in hijinks that a high school kid would do.
You know what I just thought about?
Oh God, I'm so
Batteries not included. We should have included that on our aliens episode.
They were aliens, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. That was
They're a lot like Transformers in that they're entirely a mechanical type of species.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what their spark of consciousness is? You ever think about that? That's what they call it too in Transformers. Their spark.
The all spark. Yeah.
The all spark.
That's right.
I can't do it.
You can't do a Megatron.
Not Megatron. The other one, the good guy.
Optimus.
Optimus Prime. Yeah.
Hey, you want to hear a good joke?
No.
Chuck Norris once peed in a diesel as a joke. That truck's now known as Optimus Prime.
That's awesome. I love that. Let's see. Bruce Almighty. That's
The one. The Bushman is here.
well, hello, the Bushman.
How you doing, Bushman?
Bruce Almighty. He had mind powers, but he was God.
He was
so
God.
that doesn't really
Yeah,
count.
so that doesn't count. Yeah, we try to.
This is an interesting list. Any magician or wizard you ever saw? So, what was it? Gandalf the Grey.
Oh, the Lord of the Rings guys. Yeah.
Any of your magicians have mind powers of all sorts. People like Beastmaster. If you think about that, he's able to do like ESP or whatever
with animals. Yeah, that was cool.
So I guess
Ace Ventura.
Maybe that's another thing. Not so much Ace Ventura. Maybe that's another version of it, to where animals can be clued in. Maybe you're more tuned into the way their brains work. I don't know. That sounds crazy.
Hey, no, I mean it's not at all crazy because we don't know enough about the brain to call what we're talking about crazy yet.
That's fair enough. Friday the 13th, Part 7.
Oh, that chick.
The blonde girl.
Mm-hmm.
She had all the psychokinetic abilities.
Yeah, she strung him up by the light cord.
That was the one where they finally showed his face, and it was gnarly.
Yeah, dude, it was
we had
badass.
that poster. Remember we were kids?
Yeah.
Our cousin Corey, rest in peace, Corey, gave us the poster of Jason Voorhees and all of his.
He had the nails in his head from where she shot the nails. I remember
that was such a good movie.
I remember when the doctor was like trying to get her to produce her powers. He was a lot like Kevin Bacon in the First Class, manipulating them to try to develop their powers. X-Men First Class, Kevin Bacon.
Oh yeah, he played. He was part of the Hellfire Club. Sebastian Shaw.
Yeah, he shot Magneto's mom just to induce the stress caused needed to
really turn him on.
Yeah, to turn his mutant ability on. Yes.
I'm looking for some more movies here. Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
No.
Harry Potter. I mean, that's not really. If your wand's doing the work.
It's me, Phil Bush, the one and only. Oh, hey, Phil Bush.
Hey, how's it going?
What are you doing, bud?
Chuck from the TV show Chuck could count also. He could count too also.
Count.
What do you mean there, Brian?
I don't know who Chuck is. What's the TV show?
You ever heard the show Chuck?
Uh-uh.
He was like an agent somehow, like had special powers. I don't know. I never watched it. I hear a lot of people really like it though.
I don't know nothing about. What about Scarlet Witch?
The sister of Quicksilver.
Yes.
She had matter manipulation powers.
But remember she got into all their heads and like made them freak out. Remember she made Thor hallucinate. She made Hulk. Remember that's the whole reason for the Hulkbuster suit because Hulk was under Scarlet Witch's spell and he was freaking out.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Because she like made them lose their mind and whatnot.
Yep. She's kind of like Apocalypse. He has matter manipulation.
Yeah, his matter manipulation was cool, dude.
Yeah.
He just would like pick up sand and just run it through people's heads. You know what I mean? Just.
I love that quote from the old X-Men cartoon. It was probably said in the comics. Whenever somebody asked him if he was a mutant, and he says to him, I guess it was a human asking him, "Are you a mutant?" He says, "I am as far beyond mutants as they are beyond you."
Oh yeah.
Apocalypse was a badass.
Yeah, but he was no chance. Stood no chance to Jean
shit.
Grey.
One of your favorite movies.
What is it?
Limitless.
Limitless was an excellent movie.
What was that noise there? That was you smacking the table.
Yeah, can't believe I forgot about Limitless.
Yeah, I don't know. What's that one with that girl? It's a very similar movie. Oh God, so what's her name?
Lucy. We talked about that one. That was she had total everything. She had matter control, mind manipulation. She did it all. Lucy did it all. Scarlett Johansson, I really like her too. So.
What is it with you?
Black Widow.
I guess
she's got no superpowers in the Avengers movies, but you run on over to Lucy, she's bad as shit.
Man, I had a point when I forgot. I started thinking about.
I do that to you. Yeah, I know. She does that too. She has that effect on people.
Let's see here. I don't know. I feel like I got more. What were we going to talk about? We wanted to talk about something else we talked about before.
I don't remember.
God dang it.
That's your fault.
Why is that my fault?
Don't want to talk about it.
Oh, boy. Well, I guess then we'll have to pack it in. I wanted to have a little bit of free talk about something, but was it about the 9/11 episode?
Oh yeah, no, I remembered something about the 9/11 the 9/11 episode that I forgot to mention that it's important.
What is it?
Halliburton made $39.4 billion.
Not off 9/11.
No, they made it off the Iraq War. And the CEO of Halliburton was anybody?
Dick Cheney.
There you go.
Cheney. I'm
Cheney.
I'm making it wrong.
So I remembered that, and I remembered when we did the 9/11 episode, I didn't put a proper number on that Halliburton made all kinds of money off of that, and it was like $39.4 billion.
Give or take, or exactly?
Exactly.
Like you're sure that's the number?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that's the number. Am I wrong?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's the number.
You're often
30,
wrong.
39.4. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not right all the time.
No, you're often wrong. I mean, you're wrong more than you're right.
Oh, is that right?
I don't know.
No, that's wrong.
All right, I guess let's finish up. I do want to say a thank you to all our people watching on YouTube right now.
Yeah, we really appreciate all the support, you guys. Thank you.
We got a nice big group watching us on YouTube Live every week, and it keeps getting bigger every week. So if you're bored on a Sunday afternoon, come along. It's 3 p.m. Right
3
now,
p.m. Central.
Right, 3 p.m. Central Time, which is -5 GMT or GST, whatever you want to call it. We're
I
5
don't know
hours
what that
behind
means.
the prime meridian.
Okay.
Time zone. We're 5 time zones behind London, basically.
Oh, is that
now.
right?
Until we hit with our daylight savings changes, and then we'll be 6 hours behind. So if you're in London right now, it's probably 10:30 p.m.
If you're in New York right now, what time is it?
Right now, if you're in New York, it's only 1 hour ahead, 6:30.
So you want to join us at 4?
5:30 Central.
You want to join us at 4?
4 o'clock in New York.
If you're in California,
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Alaska, noon.
Noon, Sunday.
Hawaii, I'm not sure. Minsk, Belarus, I don't know.
What about Rome?
Rome, I am unsure. That's probably what, 2 or 3 hours past London time.
When in Rome, do as the Romans.
That makes no sense.
All right.
That makes no sense.
All right. Well, then this has been. Wait, we done?
Well, we got some people saying great show on YouTube, and
Oh, okay. Great show, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Great show as
I guess
always.
they're kind of giving us the hook.
We appreciate that, Brian Maiden and Brian. That's Iron Maiden, Brian Maiden, I think, right?
I don't know, but that's pretty cool now that I think about
I
it.
know. I thought so too. And hey, no problem. And we're glad that you guys got to see the show, and we appreciate all the support that you guys give us. And like Everett was just saying, the YouTube audience is getting bigger every week. The numbers are getting better every week.
Yeah, if you're new on YouTube this week, make sure you hit subscribe.
Yeah,
You'll
hit
get a
that subscribe
notification.
button so that you get a little notification when we come online, and
That's
you'll be
a
able
good
to
idea.
talk
Go
us.
to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Surreal Talk Podcast, and hit subscribe. If you've got the YouTube app on your phone, you're going to get a notification every week when we come on live.
And who doesn't have the YouTube app on their phone? I mean, everybody
Why
has
wouldn't
the.
you? Why wouldn't you?
You shitting me right now?
No, I'm saying why wouldn't you have
Right,
it?
right. Yeah, it's good. Why wouldn't you have the YouTube app on your phone? YouTube app's great.
Anyway, throw our plugs out and let's get out of here.
All right. This has been Surreal Talk, a look inside the world of cults, conspiracies, and the paranormal. Brought to you this week and, of course, every week by Amazon. If you're looking to do any online shopping, visit surrealtalkpodcast.com/Amazon and be forwarded to our special Amazon page where any purchases that you make will directly support our show. Also, if you're into audiobooks, go to our website, surrealtalkpodcast.com, and click the Audible banner to create your own 30-day trial and download your free audiobook. And as always, remember to like and subscribe to our Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube accounts. That's facebook.com/surrealtalk, twitter.com/surrealtalkshow, and youtube.com/surrealtalkpodcast. And if you'd like to contact us about anything at all, tell us we're good, tell us we're bad, whatever, we missed something, we got something wrong, do that. Reach us by email.
Hold on. Careful with that. We did something wrong. We've been getting a lot of you missed this. We missed
Hey, we've
that.
had a lot of good interactions with the fans, though.
True.
We've had a lot of emails and a lot of good interactions.
But as we say before,
85% were good.
disclaimer: we reserve the right to be wrong. People.
Right, this is true. But so if you want to reach us by email, it's info@surrealtalkpodcast.com, or you can do that by messaging us on any of our social media platforms, and you'll be able to directly talk to Everett or myself. Leave a review on iTunes, Stitcher, Facebook.
It's only $3.95 for a minute. Me weekdays after 5.
He's just kidding. It doesn't cost anything. He's a cheap one. While you asked, please be honest in your review, but give us 5 stars. That's honestly what we deserve.
Are you done with that part of it?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I wanted to pop the network, lineupmedia.fm. If you're into podcasts and you're looking for other stuff to listen to, visit lineupmedia.fm. We've got about 40 shows live now. So there's guaranteed to be a show or two with something you're interested in.
Right.
MMA to baseball to football to hockey. We got all the
Youth
sports
baseball, girls talk.
covered. We got girl talk.
I'll never forget the girls episode.
What do you mean?
Where you made me plug the Girls show?
The Girls show? Not the Girls show. That's Motley Crue.
Oh, well, I mean, Motley Crue's kick ass, so.
Let's see.
Thanks, Brian. Subbed here and in iTunes. Cool.
Let's see, we got the Jiggy Jaguar show. That's a new show. That's alternative news, patriot topics, and libertarian issues with host Jiggy Jaguar with special guests.
Wait a minute. Wait, read that again.
It's the Jiggy Jaguar Experience, jagshow.com. It's alternative news, patriot topics, and libertarian issues with host Jiggy Jaguar.
I'll be subbing to that.
There you go.
Yeah. I didn't know we had such a show. Patriot news and alternative news. And yeah.
So here's another one you might
That
like
one's
if
for
you're
you,
into
Jay.
like counterculture, or not counterculture, like nerd culture, geekdom. Red Dodge, she's a cosplayer. You know what cosplay is?
I do know what co-play is.
Cosplay.
I call it co.
Any which way, she does a lot of Star Wars cosplay.
If you can take the P off Coop, I'm going to take the S off co-play.
Hold on. You know who this is, this Red Dodge? Let me show you a picture.
I have a red Dodge.
She's arguably quite attractive. Let me see here. Any which way, she does a show on the network. She does a lot of see what I'm talking
I
about?
never met her.
Anyway, she does a lot of like comic book and Comic-Con related stuff. Check her out. I don't know. Go to lineupmedia.fm. I feel like I'm kind of droning on about the network.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff on there.
We got a lot of cool things. There's a lot of Spanish content we do.
Well, we don't do that.
We have French content.
Are you shitting me?
I'm not kidding. Like
Oh,
French.
bonjour.
Yeah, we actually have a Celtic. Is it Celtic or Celtic? Celtic.
Or Celtic.
Celtic Music Lab. So they talk about Celtic music, things like that.
Yeah.
We've got Follow the Sound, which is producer Brian's show. He reviews an album every week.
Really?
He's actually asked me to be on a show. I'm going to review an album with him. We're going to do the Grateful Dead's Europe 72. It's a triple live album. I loved it. It's
Cool.
great. Got a lot of good music. So I'm going to be on that show. You can check out my shows other than this one, which is notsofastpodcast.com. We talk a lot of sports and pop culture. And then there's the Ocho Man show, Behind the Eight Ball, which I'm not really on too much anymore. We're going to be doing a thing over in St. Louis this week at Pointer's Pizza where we try to eat the Pointosaurus. It's a 28.
Are you guys going to live stream that?
No, we're going to record it and put it on our YouTube, though, on the
All right,
Ocho Man
cool,
show.
cool.
It's a 28-inch pizza that weighs 10 pounds.
You and one other guy?
Me and producer Brian are going to try to tackle it. So you get to choose between either 4 vegetables or 2 meats. We're going to go pepperoni and bacon.
There you go. That's yeah.
Yeah, they got some weird rules, like you can't leave the eating area for 1 hour. Even if you finish in 18 minutes, you got to stay the whole time. So I guess so you don't throw up or go throw up.
Right. They don't want you going out to the car doing anything that'll help you eat.
Yeah,
or anything
and you're
like
not
that.
allowed to sop up any of the oil with a napkin. That's one of their rules. I don't.
If so, you have to eat the napkin.
No, that's we're doing that this Thursday. This coming Thursday, we're gonna go try to eat this 10-pound pizza. Me and one other guy in an hour. I think we're gonna blow it away, but whatever. So check out that show, ochoman.com. If you can't get enough of me, yeah. What are the odds of that?
I'm only on this show, ladies and gentlemen, and
That's too much. It's
no,
too much.
it's not enough.
All right, I guess that's it. We'll see
right.
you next week. I don't have a clue what show we're doing
Yep.
yet.
As always, this is Surreal Talk, and join us next week. It'll be great.
See you later.
Later. lineupmedia.fm.
Well, you
Can you hear me?
They can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
All right, I'm shutting down.
Oh, this dude says he's tried it and failed miserably to do that pizza.
Oh, no crap. That's crazy. Well, we're gonna do it, Brian. We're gonna take care of it.
Still on?
Yeah, we're still
If you're talking about the pizza, that's awesome because I want to see Everett fail miserably at trying to eat this 5 pounds of pizza. And I was trying to tell him before, I'm like, look, you don't just got to eat 5 pounds. What if old boy can't eat 5 pounds? Then you got to eat 6 pounds and he only eats 4. So I wouldn't like lay it down to just eating 5 pounds of pizza here.
Don't count me out, sir. Pizza's my favorite food, and I've never failed ever at anything.
Yeah,
except
but
for a lot of things.
Brian Maiden failed miserably, he
I
said.
don't know, Brian. I don't know if he's got. The
He
guts
could
for
be
that.
like 4'5" and 110 pounds soaking wet.
He could be.
But what if he's a 6'7", 480 pound man, and he failed miserably?
Then I would have to say I question his, how into it he is.
It's like for 480 pounds, bro, you should be able to eat better than that, huh? Anyway, have a good week. Thanks, everybody.